In every community, people need ways to get from one place to another.
Like cars?
Right. Cars are one kind of private transportation. But what about people who don't have a car? How can they get to work?
A bus. Sure, they can take the bus.
Buses are one kind of public transportation. In a small city, most people have jobs close to home, but they still need transportation. Large city, there are many more people, and some of them live a long way from their jobs. They may even live outside the city.
In the suburbs?
Right. Most large cities have special roads for people who have a long way to drive.
Expressways?
Yes, expressways or freeways.
There's a lot of cars driving into the city.
This is the morning rush hour.
Do all those people take the train to work?
Yes, trains like this are a fast way to move many people from the suburbs to their jobs in the city.
There's another train. It's different, isn't it?
This is a special kind of train for the people who live in the city. It's called a rapid transit train. A rapid transit train can move faster than street traffic. And it stops only at special stations. A rapid transit train has to run on tracks, so it can't go everywhere in the city.
But a bus doesn't run on tracks. So it can go on any street.
That's true, but buses do have routes. They travel along certain streets and stop at certain corners. Often, people must transfer from one bus to another to get where they want to go.
Do some people change from the bus to the rapid transit train? Sure.
At some stations, people can transfer from one rapid transit train to another. People who drive to work don't have to wait for a bus or train, and they don't have to transfer. But they have other problems.
There are more cars now. And they're slowing down. Some are even stopping.
And what's another problem?
Cars make air pollution. That's why you can't see those buildings very well.
When all the cars get into the city, they have another problem.
They have to find a place to park.
Streets and parking places for the cars and tracks for the trains. All this takes up a lot of valuable space. Do you know a way we can save some of this space?
It's going underground.
This is a tunnel, a subway. You may need transportation to get to school. If transportation is to move smoothly and safely, we need to follow certain rules.
Hey, how come that train is so short?
Well, the rush hour is over. Most people are already at work.
There aren't as many people riding the bus either.
No, but all day long, people do need transportation for shopping and other things.
The cars can move faster when it's not so crowded. When it's not rush hour, what happens to all the other train cars? There are some of them.
This is where they're kept until they're needed to bring people home from work at night. While they're not being used, the cars are cleaned. It takes many people doing many different jobs to keep public transportation running.
Like repairmen. And conductors and motormen.
And of course, it costs money to pay these people and to pay for all the equipment. Some of the money comes from the fares that people pay to ride. Trains and buses are probably the cheapest kind of transportation you can use. Here's another kind of public transportation. A taxi doesn't have to serve a large number of people at the same time. It can take you exactly where you want to go. But it costs more than other kinds of public transportation.
If you have your own car, then you don't even have to wait for a taxi cab, and you can go wherever you want.
But private transportation also costs money.
You have to buy gasoline. And new tires and stuff. And if anything's wrong, you have to pay to get it fixed.
Usually, it's cheaper to use public transportation. Of course, there are some places where there isn't much public transportation. You almost have to have a car.
Like a shopping center.
Shopping centers must provide plenty of space for parking cars.
And so do ballparks.
Whenever a lot of people travel to or from the same place at the same time, it gets very crowded. How can large crowds of people be moved quickly? One way is to provide several different kinds of transportation. Public transportation can move many people at one time. It would take hundreds of private cars to move the same number of people. Some kinds of transportation are faster than others. Some are cheaper. Some can take you more directly to the place you want to go. That's why we need several ways of moving people in the community.